Hello, it's Gabriel McBird here with a review of Gourmet Burger Kitchen. I went there with my support worker yesterday for lunch, and we got in there between 12:05 and 12:10. Now, I had to be out of there for about 10 to 1 in order to meet somebody at the station nearby. So we got in there and sat at the table and quickly went through the menu, decided what we're going to have. We then went up to the counter to order, and there were about 2 people in front of us, and we were surprised how long it seemed to be taking them to get their orders through. We waited for about 5 or 6 minutes at the counter. And that's just for 2 people, so I don't know what it would have been like if it had been busier. And ordered our burgers, which was okay, but the guy, I just read my order out straight. I mean, it was a fairly simple order. It was the Major Tom burger with chunky fries and a rhubarb and vanilla fizzy pop. I had to give that a whirl. But the guy who took the order seemed incapable of just taking that all as a one-off order. He went back and said, okay, so you want the Major Tom burger, is that correct? And I said, yes, it's correct. And he said, how do you want it cooked? And I said, medium. And he said, medium, is that correct? And I said, yes. And then he said, and what fries do you want? Again, I said, chunky fries. And he then said, what drink do you want? And I just thought, hang on, mate, I'm giving you quite a simple order here, and you insist on going through it piece by piece because you don't have, I suppose he just didn't have the intelligence to take the order straight. But it meant that there were really quite a few delays, and it explained to me, I think, why the people in front took so long in getting their order in. So that was one problem, the inability to take the order correctly. When the burger itself arrived, that was another 15 to 20 minutes. Now, bear in mind that this is in an area surrounded largely by officers and people on their break at lunch. They will be time limited. I mean, if they're very lucky, they'll get an hour. If they're less lucky, they'll get 45 minutes or even half an hour. And really, these places have got to be a little bit quicker than this at turning out people's requirements. We were in there, I would say we were in there 35 minutes before the burger landed on the table, which is just too much. The quality of the burger itself was pretty good. It was supposed to come with some kind of coleslaw. There was meant to be a blue cheese coleslaw, but neither of us found any evidence whatsoever of blue cheese in there. So maybe they'd run out of blue cheese coleslaw and just bunged ordinary coleslaw in. The chips were nice and crispy, the chunky fries, but they somehow they're meant to be skin-on chunky fries, but they just weren't somehow that tasty. It just tasted almost of nothing. It's a little bit soulless. I mean, the texture was fine. They were crunchy on the outside and quite soft in the middle, but the taste was just nothing. The rhubarb and vanilla drink, I wouldn't have been able to identify it as rhubarb and vanilla if I hadn't have known that's what I was drinking. It wasn't very strong. It was a bit watery. So overall, I give GBK a bit of a thumbs down. Decent burger. Too expensive. That burger with the chips and the drink came to 14 quid. Way too expensive. And I understand that GBK has had quite a lot of troubles recently. It's hovered on the edge of administration and had a couple of what they call CVIs. CVAs, rather, those are company volunteer agreements or whatever they're called, where they restructure their debt and try and beg landlords to reduce their rent and one thing and another. But yeah, I think that while the burgers, the meat in the burger, the patty itself tastes pretty good, the rest of it, yeah, it's a bit lackluster, and I don't think... Oh, the other problem is the app. There is a GBK app that you can use. It requires you to enter your name, your email address, your date of birth, and then there's another tick box to confirm that you're over the age of 13. It then sends a text. Oh, yeah, you have to use a password as well, which must be 8 characters, and it must have letters and numbers. I did have problems with a couple of the buttons not being accessible, and my support worker had help with those. I know it's not strictly work related, but still, I would say that there's just too much information required. If the app doesn't store your card details, then it just doesn't need all that information. And when you go and look at the reviews for the app on the App Store, a lot of people say they had problems actually with the registration process. It's too long-winded. So overall, I'm afraid I can't give more than a 4, I'd say, to Burger King. To GBK, rather. What's it called? Gourmet Burger Kitchen. If the whole ordering experience had been quicker and smoother, with the quality that we had, I'd have given it a 6. But with sort of a lot better coleslaw and tastier fries at a slightly more reasonable price, the mark could have been a lot higher. So there is potential there, but some way to go, I would say.